Hey y'all, I'm Luchi. I'm the hairstylist for this project. I joined this project because I really and truly believe that it's a very important part of our community that for us to come together and share that we're really not different, we're really fighting the same battles. And I really and truly believe that with this project, we'll be able to get that across and help our communities. It's super important. It's so important. I think just based on things that are still happening and things that have happened in the diaspora, it just shows that it's something that we still need to understand, and it's very essential to our communities that we understand what is being portrayed in this project and what is basically the essence of this project is very important to our communities and our progress. Thanks to the producer, I had a lot of like creative freedom with my work, and I just stemmed a lot of it from my personal experiences growing up as a Nigerian immigrant. My experiences in school as well. So I'm the hairstylist. Obviously, had to like think about what hairstyles would appropriately portray the characters. So I thought about what hairstyles I wore as a young Nigerian girl, even when I was in Nigeria, when I was here, and I thought about what I saw my schoolmates wearing when I first moved to the US as well. So a lot of it kind of stemmed from things that I experienced and things that I saw growing up as well. Just how we're not, I feel like there's no unity in the black community. So it's kind of like we grab at every opportunity that we get for ourselves, and just it's like a I gotta do what I gotta do kind of mindset. I think that's sad, but I think it's also the educational system is kind of like created not in our favor, and it kind of stems back to like systemic oppression. So definitely the educational system. I think if it was much better, it would help us progress as a community as well. I would say, just coming from a business background, I know that it's really hard for women, black women, to get like loans and get grants and things like that. So it's really difficult to, be accepted in this whole like business realm and things like that. So I think lack of opportunities is definitely a big one. If we were given, equal opportunities, then we'll be able to do more things for ourselves and do more things for our own progress. I think that the thing that's very like out there, I hope that everyone gets from this piece, is that we're really all going through the same things. Like we're really all being, like we're all equally oppressed. No Africans are not better than African Americans and vice versa. It's pretty much like there's a higher oppression that we're still like being manipulated under. So we really have to stick together, and we really have to like understand each other and love each other because we're one. We come from the same place, if you stem all the way back. So yeah, we just have to love each other and just come together. I feel like with everything going on right now, there's a lot of conversation that needs to be had. One of it could really be the effects of colonialism in Africa, in America, and how that has trickled down to this generation, how it's still affecting us, present day. It could be about diaspora wars, which is basically like Africans versus African Americans, and how that's really, a ploy of the white man to keep us apart. There's a lot. There's a lot. How can we act? I think at this point, I think we know a lot of the problems, so I think now is more of like, okay, how do we find solutions to this problem? Like, how can we actually come together and help ourselves? What is step one? What is step two? Or, and I think conversations is definitely like a good place to start. So, I would say something that I was like made more aware of, is that a lot of African Americans, actually didn't, not all African Americans felt animosity towards Africans, because from my experiences growing up, it felt as though it was like every single African American like hated Africans. But definitely through this project, I learned that it's definitely, it's just a few rotten eggs spoils the whole bunch or whatever. So it's definitely not like a popular. It seems popular because people that you're around, but it's really not a popular opinion. But I think just from going like further my education, like through college and everything, I already kind of changed my perspective towards that already. So it wasn't like a need like perspective change or anything like that. So from the stories that we received and I read through, two stuck out to me. One was from the African perspective and one was from the African American perspective. I think I related the most to to this specific African perspective simply because it sounded like my story on paper. A lot of the things she experienced from being bullied because of her hair and her accent and her name and the way she smelled or anything like that. So I really related to that. I think it really pushed me more to make sure that the hair that I'm trying to depict in this project is portrayed accurately, so that we can work towards really just like disbanding all of these like negative stereotypes. And from the African American perspective, she shared something about how she perceives what she thinks Africans think that they are, how they're very easily angered and they think they're better and this and that and that. And it just made me feel as though like, wow, there's really a big misunderstanding. Like there's a big gap in understanding because from my perspective, it was like, I'm just innocent. I just wanted to connect with somebody who looks like me. But from their own perspective, it's like they're already thinking that I'm approaching them thinking that I'm better than them and I don't even want to interact with them. So it made me realize that there's a huge misunderstanding, and both of it is really not our fault. I think it's just things that we were taught. So it really pushed me to make sure that I do my part excellently on this project, and I hope that I did, and I hope that everyone understands and everyone really enjoys this project.